This is Pro Series Off Topic.
Welcome back to Off Topic, episode 75. Today we are going to talk a little bit about this past week's Pro Series, a little bit about news you want to hear, and then also get into the post I put out this week about Huel. I'm going to start off with this past week's episode of the Pro Series, episode 155, with Massimo Ballalucci. He's the Vice President of Institutional Relations for Costantino North America. If you're not into design, Costantino is a countertop company. More than a countertop company, actually. We talk about it in the episode. They do quartz. They do an ultra compact material called Dectin. It could be into countertops. It could be facades for outside. It could be facades for inside. Flooring. It's really endless. But we had a connection with the NKBA, and it was a great episode. We talked about a lot about just the organizations in general, and the importance of having a tie-in with these design organizations. And then we talk about a lot about design. Cosentino, their environmentally friendly branding that they are doing now, and what they're doing with their product to make it a little bit more sustainable. Great episode. Massimo is a great guy. Go follow them at Cosentino USA. Go link up with him on LinkedIn. Great guy, great company. Really got a lot of great feedback from that episode. It was really fun being able to talk to another person that is very high up in the design world. Next week we'll have another Pro Series, so stay tuned to that. But I want to first get into the post that I posted this week. If you do not know what Huel is, it's the world's #1 complete nutrition brand. They literally have protein shakes, energy drinks, daily greens, protein bars, literally everything. Even like meal prep meals, pastas and stuff. Great brand, and they're finally launching at GNC, and they're having a launch event on September 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That is at GNC's Strip District flagship store. It's at 1918 Smallman Street, Pittsburgh, PA. All day long, there'll be samples, free merch, and contest, music, DJ all day long. Join the party, and there's prizes. Some of the prizes will be like Pitt and West Virginia game tickets, and so much more. There's a couple other people talking, and there will be a Huel Cybertruck there, which would be really cool to see in person. I had the honor to actually get some of this product and try it, and it's actually really, really good. I think it's very hard to make a protein shake and make protein bars and stuff taste not like a protein bar, and they do a phenomenal job with it. They're a great company, and they truly mean it by complete nutrition. So it's not just a protein bar or a protein drink. It has all the vitamins and nutrients that you need throughout the day, which is a huge plus in their book. So if you want to attend this show, I'll post some links in my stories. I've been doing it all week. Or you could head over to my social media and find the links. But join me. I'll be there around 11 a.m. on next Saturday, September 14th. And I'll see you there. And check them out at GNC. Go stock up. They're fully launched at GNC, so you can buy their products. But yeah, let's get into news you actually want to hear. This is one of my favorite topics that I've never really, or my favorite part of this podcast that I haven't done in a while, because it's just, again, hard to find good stories. But this is someone you should be following on TikTok. His name is, on TikTok, is Storytime with Papa Jake. He's known by Papa Jake. I'm going to get this information from the Marine Independent Journal. Jake Larson he is a veteran. Jake Larson is a veteran from World War II. He, in 1938, was 15 years old. He lied to the North National Guard in his hometown of Minnesota that he was of age, but he was only 15. Those next so many years, he went overseas, fought in World War II, stormed the beaches of Normandy, D-Day, survived, and he calls himself the luckiest man alive. He truly is. But he is on TikTok. You never would think, now he being 101, he'd be huge on TikTok. But he is so fun to follow. And from his name, Story Times with Papa Jake, that's what it is. It's just sit down conversations with him, and he just talks about different stories from his past and, going to war or, he does talk about country music on here. He's a country music fan, and he's just down to earth. It's the stuff you want to hear on social media and the stuff you want to listen to and stuff. If you're going to get lost in TikTok, this is what you want to get lost in. He just talks about literally everything about the war, his past, and it's cool to hear these stories. So if you are on TikTok, go follow him on Storytime with Papa Jake. You could also send him some mail, and I think he opens it up on TikTok as well. But let's get into country music this week. Let's get into new country music, starting out with the King himself. Came out with a new album in years called Cowboys and Dreamers, and overall, pretty good album. If it's more leaning towards the traditional, which his past so many albums, like in like the early tens or actually the late 2000s, were kind of catered more to country music at that point. I think he's kind of going back to his roots on here, which is kind of cool to hear. What country music's already starting to do, anyways. But I think my song of the week would be Honky Tonk Hall of Fame with Chris Stapleton and George Strait. A great song, traditional, upbeat. Chris Stapleton and George Strait's voices together is magical. You can't do anything. The King himself can't do anything bad. So go check that out. Great album, great song. Overall, just a great listen. But let's get into the newer music this week, single wise. Other than George Strait. First up, Danielle Bradbury. This isn't a country song or country album. She's kind of been pretty open about her being kind of genre fluid. So she's done some country, mostly country, but she loves R&B, she loves pop, and this whole next album is considered pop. It's called Danielle. It was charting, I think, higher than any of her music ever. It's decent. I think I still like her country stuff. I think she's a very underrated artist. And I don't know if she doesn't have the great management team or record label, but she just never popped off when she had some great songs. It's a shame, but great album. Go check that one out. Next up, Roddy Green. This week came out with a new song off of a new album that he's coming out with in October. It's called Don't Mind If I Do with Ella Langley. And the album will also be called Don't Mind If I Do. Roddy Green's killing it. It's great. Really cool that he came out with another song with Ella Langley off of the song that he was on her album with, because that's such a big song right now. And then next up, John Party came out with a new song, kind of a surprise. He kind of announced in the mid of last week, called Friday Night Heartbreak. A great song, a very different sound from John Party. It has a very clever chorus. Check that out and let me know what you think. Next up, Dwight Yoakam came out with another song called I Don't Know How to Say Goodbye, Bang Bang Boom Boom with Post Malone. I really like the song, but for some reason, and I'm a huge Dwight Yoakam fan, I love all his old music, he just doesn't sound right on this song. Or maybe I don't know. Listen to it. I think Post sounds amazing on it. And, the chorus that goes bang, bang, boom, boom really is really cool when Post sings it. But I don't know, Dwight is doing something with his voice that I'm not particularly a fan of. But don't come at me. I'm a huge Dwight Yoakam fan. I like the song. It's just for some reason how it was going about, I didn't really like it. Jessie Murph, we've talked about many times on this podcast, but she came out with another song called Someone in This Room with Bailey Zimmerman. Both of their voices are insane together. You have to check out this song. It was probably my runner-up for Song of the Week. Old Dominion came out with a song called Looking for Love. Decent. Keith Urban came out with a new version of his Mess Up As Me song. He's calling it the 2:45 a.m. version. I don't really like it as much as the first version. It's kind of more broken down, kind of what you'd expect, kind of like lonely type of sad type of deal. I like the original version. And then another new version of a song that really just didn't need to happen is Scotty McCreery came out with his current single called Fall of Summer. He came out with a new version called Fall Summer NC State version. He went to NC State. Obviously, he's still a huge NC State fan. And literally, the only thing that was changed that I know of is he puts NC State in the song. Like he's going back to NC State. I don't understand why he didn't just put that in the original part of the song. I feel like if you wrote this song or if this is on your album and you love NC State, why didn't you just put that in the original song? Why did you have to come out with a new version called NC State version? I don't understand it, but I mean, it was an odd find this week. Last up, this is not like new music. I mean, I guess it is. But if you're a Bobby Bones fan, like myself, or Bobby Bones show fan like myself, they released the theme song. Reed Yardberry works for Bobby Bones, and he sang this. It's called the Bobby Bones theme song. It's actually really, really catchy. It's probably the best theme song I've heard in a long time. It really encompasses the whole show, everybody in the show, and it's catchy. It's very country. I think it's a wonderful, and I think Reed's gonna become a pretty big artist. He has a really, really cool voice. If you like that raspy, kind of like smoky type of voice, he's the one that you want to listen to. And let's get into the media based chart this week. Number 5, Drew Baldridge, who was number 1 last week. She's Someone's Daughter. Number 4, Chris Young, Young Love and Saturday Nights. Number 3, Luke Combs, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Number 2, again this week, Dustin Lynch in Jelly Roll with Chevrolet. And number 1 this week, up from number 5 last week, is Cody Johnson, Dirt Cheap. I think this song is one of the best written songs in a very, very long time. I think it deserves Single of the Year at CMAs and ACMs. A beautifully written song. Cody Johnson sounds amazing. He gives you like the chills when that song starts coming up and that piano starts playing. The music video is great. It just encompasses like the storytelling part of the song. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But honestly, this song deserved number 1. It deserves more than what it's already getting. But I can't wait for the second half of this next Cody Johnson album. Leather was so good. It was a no-skip album. I just went over and listened to it again this past week and realized how much I loved it. But I can't wait for part 2. As you remember, he kind of teased it last year. He wrote a song with Carrie Underwood, and he's saying it's like career-defining or like breaking. And that's very, very encouraging and very, I'm like, what did you write? What song is? I just can't wait to listen to it. And I think that's what's going to be coming up next, just because I feel like he's at the end of the second part of the album, or the first part of the album, to release the second part of the album. I think he did say in an interview that it would be coming out this year. So I have a feeling this week or next he's going to announce it. And maybe they'll sing that at the CMA Awards, and maybe it's perfect timing for that. That's all I have this week. If you have not gone and check out the Pro Series 155 with Massimo Ballalucci, go check that one out. Great episode. Got amazing feedback from especially the design community because they all know him. But go check that out. Another Pro Series coming out midweek this week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk next.